In this video tutorial, what I'd like to talk about is animation in Microsoft PowerPoint, and specifically what I'm going to be addressing in this tutorial has to do with text animation. Although the same tools can be utilized to animate anything, in other words, a picture, a graphic, anything, a text box, so that you can have it move around the screen. So I'm just going to be able to, in this particular tutorial, show you how we can just animate text. So before I start out, what I like to do is I like to turn on what I call my animation pane, and it's going to show up over here on the right hand side. Now the reason why I want to do that is because as I do my animations, they're going to show up here in the screen, and I'm going to be able to control what I can and if you will, little tweaks I can make to the animation. So in my particular case, what I want to do, and I'm going to do something very, very simple to start out with, is I just want to click here. And what I'm doing by just clicking in that box, I'm selecting all of the text that's in that box. This is what I'm doing now. Can I do it individually? Yes, but right now what I'm doing is I'm just, by clicking in there, I'm just selecting the whole text. Now, as you go here and you move over these items, you'll see that that as I move over, just like I did in the design, you'll see that things will start to move. I'm not clicking my mouse button, I'm just moving over them is all I'm really doing, just like this. And then, of course, if I want to go to the next level, I can move in like this, and you'll see that I'm just getting different kinds of animations that are showing up. Zooms, grow and turn, so on and so forth. So that you can chop through here and find what you would basically want to utilize. But I'm going to go back up here again and choose something very simple, which is the fly-in right here. Now, once I click on that, you'll notice that I have this over here on the screen. What I can do is now that I have it selected, I can drop this little drop-down button. And I have some things like, for example, I can have it so it starts on when I click a mouse or have some kind of an event. I can have it so that it goes together with something I've done previously. I can have it start after, so I can have one thing animate, then the next thing animate. And one thing I want to point out is we have this thing called effect options here. So what I can do is click on this. And this, first of all, allows me to choose which direction that fly-in happens from. And each one of these effects has its own unique options that you can choose. So for example, you may open up another animation and find out that that animation doesn't have these kinds of options. So what I'm going to do is, for example, if I want this to come in from the left, I can just go ahead and click here. And then if I want to turn around and just test it, I just click OK, and you can see, and I can play it over and over again to see how it works. Now I may decide that this is a little bit too fast for me. I want it to be a little bit slower. So I can go down here, go down to Effect Options, and this time I'm going to choose Timing. And right down here, you'll notice it says duration is 0.5 seconds and it's very fast. If I want it to go slower, I just click on slow. I'll click on something like 3 seconds. And then again, I will go ahead and click on OK, and you'll notice that it goes a lot slower. If I want to go back up here again, and I want to go to Effect Options again, and I want to go to Timing, and I want to do something a little bit, this is very, very slow. Maybe I want to do it, say, medium, try to see what that is. And I can have it slide over. And again, I can go down here again with my effect options and go under timing, and then down here. And I'm probably going to end up picking something that's not very fast, but fast, and just go ahead and go OK. And you see now it moves over. So if I want to play that and see how that it works, I'll just do that. And you can see this little timeline over here that'll animate as I do this. Okay. Now I may, in this case for demonstration purposes, I may want to have this thing here come in as second, so that when I hit the mouse first, I'll see 9 steps for buying a home, and then when I hit the next mouse button again, I'll see who is prepared by. So in order to do this, I'll just go in here, I'll select this, I'll choose fly in, And in this particular case, I may decide that I want to have this come in from the right. So I'll go over here and I will pick from the right. And then underneath timing, I will say that instead of very fast, I'm going to have it come in fast. And then I'll go ahead and go OK. And you'll see how that works. Now, again, I can play it here. And you can see how it moves. I can also, once these are in here, I can move them up and down. In other words, I can reorder them if I want to. Now, for this purpose of this tutorial, what I want to do is just show you what it would look like if I was doing a PowerPoint. So I'm just going to go ahead in here and just run the PowerPoint. I'm going to go right down here to this little thing, looks like a little projection screen. And I'm just going to go up and click on it. And you'll see that initially I have a blank screen. And then when I click the mouse button one time, you'll see that now I have the 9 steps fly in. Then the next thing is I'll have the prepared by fly in. And the next thing you'll see is my name. And then, of course, if I click again, it's going to go to the second slide. And so this gives you an idea on how this initial animation works, this basic animation works. And what I encourage everybody to do is play around with it. That's the best way to find out how everything sort of works. Try the different animations. You know, for example, go back and again pick, you know, if you're looking at animating something like this, just try the different types of animations and see what they do. And that's the best way that you can become familiar with it. One more thing I do want to point out while I'm here is that these animations are also in categories. So I'm going to go down here and drop this little box down. And I just wanted to point this out, that the animations are categorized as entrance. So in other words, when the way you want something to enter to the screen. The next thing is if you want some sort of an emphasis on it. In other words, you want to, when you click on it, you want it to, say for example, say something and then have it turn around and grow and shrink. And then finally, you can also control how you want things to leave. And so I, for example, may have a PowerPoint where I want something to come onto the screen. Then I want to, as my talk goes, I'm going to say something. I want to have some sort of an emphasis. And then without leaving that slide, I want to have it disappear and then maybe have something else appear and replace what's there. So that's how you would basically utilize that. And again, down here, I want to point out that we have some more effects, emphasis, motion paths. There's a lot of other things that you can do in animation. So hopefully this will serve as a basic starting point for you when you're doing your text animation or any other animation you want to work with.